Welcome to the 90-Day Shift Home Workout Series. I am Lauren Saracion Herrera, the owner of Pilates Barbell Club and developer of PBC 5x7, the original strength conditioning and Pilates system for women. In this workout series, you can do it at home. You're basically going to need the amount of space that a yoga mat takes up. Instead of dumbbells, our heavier weight are going to be gallon jugs, and you're going to want to buy Crystal Geyser, although we don't get any endorsements from them. These ones, because they have a handle, and we're going to utilize this handle much like a kettlebell and dumbbell. We're also going to be using a lighter weight with the 1.5 liter size. And if these get to be too heavy for you, go ahead and just get a can or a different type of water bottle. Lastly, you need the size of a yoga mat. You don't necessarily actually need a mat. We're also going to use either paper plates, which you may have in your cupboard. You just need 2 of them. Or you can go ahead and buy some furniture sliders. Either way, either one is going to work. It just depends on what you would like to use. All right, get ready for today's workout. Today is workout 1. All you need today are your 1.5 liter or lighter water bottles, whichever one you prefer. We're gonna start with your lower body with a squat to stand. So if you wanna do more mobility, have your toes face forward. Mobility means stretching. If you wanna do mobility, toes face forward, you're gonna bend over, grab your feet, drop your hips down. Did you see that? Hear that ankle pop? Reach your arms up overhead, stand up. So this is gonna be a great exercise plus warm up to get you going for this warm up, for this workout. If you wanna go more just workout, mat maybe faster when you actually get into your type of workout you're gonna choose today, you can go ahead and point your toes out and go more squat style, less stretch style. So you're gonna point your toes out, your heels are still wider than your hips. You're still gonna bend over to get your hamstring stretch. Drop the hips, stretch the arms, come back up. You can probably see I can get down a little bit lower because this is the natural shape of the thigh bone in the pelvis. This is squat to stand. For your upper body exercise, we're gonna do a push-up. You have a couple of variations. You can start on your knees, push your pelvis forward, squeeze your butt cheeks, pull your shoulder blades back a little bit, and then look in front of you. Don't look down to the ground. Look in front of you just a little bit. Bend your elbows, press back up. Bend the elbows, press back up. Generally, magazines push the elbows out to the side. That's not necessarily the function of the shoulder. So just let your elbows follow naturally. Don't force them down to your hips. Don't force them out to the side. You'll just find that natural alignment. If you can do a full push-up, of course, do it. Push your heels back behind you. Pull your shoulder blades back away from your ears. Squeeze your butt. You can slightly tuck the pelvis a little bit just so that you're not like this. Everything's nice and tight, down and up. Try to take your whole body down to the floor each time. If you don't like either one of those variations of push-ups, it's totally fine. You can do one that's gonna be a little bit less work. You'll start laying down. You can choose between the knee variation or the toe variation. Either one is fine. Get everything nice and tight. You're ready to go. Squeeze your butt cheeks, pull your shoulder blades together, and just press up. And then you can just casually lay yourself down. Get everything tight, press up. And again, of course, you can do the toes. Super, super tight, press. And then casually lay back down. Everything nice and tight, press. And then lay down again. So that's a great way to work up to a push-up with different variations so that you can actually get to a full push-up. Bird dog is a traditional core activation exercise that is awesome because you're gonna work all the muscles along the entire spine plus what we usually identify as our abs. So we're gonna come down onto the mat, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Now be careful that you're not letting everything go loosey-goosey, and make sure that we don't go into a Halloween cap. So we're gonna find a flat line. You really kind of have to think about yourself being on a spigot, right? Like you're a pig on a spigot, and you've got a bar coming out the crown of your head and a bar coming out from your tailbone. So from here, we're gonna stretch opposite set of limbs and give yourself a thumbs up. because you're awesome. So you're gonna stretch, swing the limbs in, press back out. Stretch, hold and squeeze for 3 seconds, swing in, press back out. And you can add another element by flexing that back foot and really pushing, and then come back in. So the more you stretch and the more you squeeze and the more you hold, the more you're gonna activate everything in your core. And the more everything's activated in your core, the more it will turn on for everything else. So essentially, you will always, always, always be working your abs. An important element, you don't wanna come up and rotate. You wanna try to keep your hip bone facing the floor no matter what. Swing in, press out, stretch and hold and squeeze. Next up for your upper body, which is kind of a full body movement too, you're gonna use these water bottles. Start with your feet a little bit wider or hip distance apart, whatever you prefer. You're gonna bend over and then just let the water bottles face the floor. You're gonna pull your elbows up by pulling your shoulder blades together and kind of think of dangling your hands. Then you're gonna rotate the water bottles up so you kind of look like a field goal facing the floor. Rotate down, come back down. Pull up, pull your elbows up to the ceiling, rotate the water bottles up, point them back down, and then stretch down. Our Pilates exercise today is going to be crisscross. So you'll lay down on your back, hug your knees into your chest, hands behind your head like a prisoner, extend your left leg to the wall in front of you, take your left elbow to your right knee, look at your back elbow, and then switch your whole body to the other side. Try to look at your back elbow each time so that you stretch the side muscles in your eyes. Don't worry about sucking in your stomach. Don't worry about a breath pattern. We're just gonna get the body moving. Pressure into the floor will keep your back straight. So if you can think of having a heavy weight on top of your abs or a box on top of your abs, that will help with that feeling if your back starts to arch. So what I mean is, you're like this and your back is coming up. If you just push down, that will get all the pressure into your back in a very supportive, healthy way. All right, so check below in the comments, check your PDF for different variations of how you can put all these exercises together for your very first workout.